cured Tyson's Parkinson so that he could come back and fight.
In a shocking conversation with Aiden Ross, Jake Paul just claimed that Mike Tyson had Parkinson's prior to his fight and that it was cured by something called toad.
Ladies and gentlemen, assemble round. We have a narrative that is upsetting the boxing scene. This is a story of legends, dispute, and surprising turns. So, take your popcorn, sit back, and let's dig into the whirlwind drama of Jake Paul and the one and only Mike Tyson. Picture this, at 58 years young, Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet, stepping back into the ring. But whose adversary he is? None other than Jake Paul, the 27-year-old YouTuber turned boxer who's been making waves in the boxing community. The news of this fight had supporters humming with both excitement and doubt. Could Tyson, after almost 2 decades away from professional boxing, take on the bolder and youthful Paul? Training days, Tyson's methodical get ready. Tyson nowadays is not one to take things lightly. Despite his age, he pushed deeply into a rigorous training routine. Tyson was resolved to show he still had that passion. Even though young bucks in their 20s and 30s, he had some rough workouts, stating, "I'm sparring young guys, 30s, 20s, I'm sparring young guys and they're hitting me real hard." But did it turn off him? Absolutely not. Tyson exhibited his famed perseverance, battling through the agony and weariness to become fight-ready. The health scare, a near-fatal setback. But wait on, the journey to the ring wasn't all straight sailing. In June 2024, Tyson experienced a significant health crisis. While on a trip from Miami to Los Angeles, he got queasy and disoriented owing to an ulcer flare-up. This wasn't simply a small setback. Tyson subsequently stated, "I nearly died in June, had 8 blood transfusions, lost half my blood in 25 pounds. Talk about a close call." Yet, with the heart of a champion, Tyson pushed back, recovering his strength and drive to confront Paul in the ring. Fast ahead to November 15, 2024, the stage was set at T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Over 60,000 fans filled the arena, with millions more tuned in internationally via Netflix. The mood was electrifying. As the bell sounded, Tyson came out swinging, flashing glimpses of his past savagery. But as the rounds went, the age disparity became clear. Paul, with his young vigor, started to take charge. After 8 heated 2-minute rounds, the judges awarded Paul the victor by unanimous decision. But let's be serious, guys. The fact that Tyson went the distance at 58? That's a win in itself. The aftermath, Tyson's reflection and family concerns. Post-fight, Tyson talked out about the toll the encounter had on him. He said, "I don't know if I'm 100% recovered, but I feel good." He also discussed the emotional effect on his family, particularly his wife, who observed him in anguish throughout preparation and post-fight recuperation. Tyson revealed, "Each time I do this, my wife sees me screaming because my body is in so much pain. It's a sobering reminder that even legends have their flaws." Now, here's where things get hot. In the thick of all the post-fight talk, Jake Paul made an error. During a live broadcast, he asserted that Tyson had Parkinson's disease before their fight and claimed that injecting toad venom healed him. Whoa, pump the brakes. This phrase spread like wildfire, generating quite the stir. Realizing his error, Paul instantly rushed to social media to explain, claiming he misspoke and that Tyson did not have Parkinson's. He revealed that Tyson had taken toad venom, which includes the hallucinogenic 5-MeO-DMT, to treat discomfort. But the harm was done, and the media had a field day with it. Tyson's response, setting the record straight. So, how did Iron Mike react to all this? In traditional Tyson manner, he tackled the matter head-on. He clarified that he did not have Parkinson's and that his usage of toad venom was a personal decision for pain management, not a treatment for any condition. Tyson's frank and clear statement helped to shut down the rumors and put the record straight. The legacy debate, to fight or not to fight. This entire situation has sparked questions about legacy and the hazards of returning to the ring. UFC welterweight Stephen Wonderboy Thompson raised concerns, proposing that Tyson should try sparring instead of professional battles to safeguard his health and reputation. He pointed out that a defeat to someone like Jake Paul may damage Tyson's historic legacy. It's a reasonable criticism, and one that many fans have repeated. The future, what's next for Tyson and Paul? As for what's next, Tyson has hinted at continued training but hasn't committed to another fight. He added, "I will probably start next month. I'm simply getting in shape." On the other hand, Jake Paul continues to expand his boxing career, targeting additional high-profile contests. Love him or loathe him, Paul's debut into boxing has definitely stirred the pot. Conclusion, a story for the ages. In the end, this narrative is more than simply about a boxing battle. It's about perseverance, the problems of age, the influence of words, and the ever-evolving nature of sports entertainment. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, two personalities from totally different worlds, joined together to create a moment that fans will be talking about for years to come. And who knows, in the unpredictable world of boxing, the next chapter might be just around the corner. Stay tuned, guys. Jake Paul faces backlash. Did he cross the line? Now, let's be honest for a second. When Jake Paul opened his mouth and made those remarks about Mike Tyson having Parkinson's, it wasn't just a slip-up, it was a full-on uproar. Fans, experts, and even other fighters were ready to call him out. For starters, disseminating falsehoods about someone's health, especially someone as renowned as Tyson, is a risky game. Social media lit up with responses, and it wasn't pretty. Some were upset, thinking Paul was attempting to make excuses for his performance in the battle. Others believed he was leveraging Tyson's name for clout, as if he hadn't already garnered enough from their battle. And let's not forget the Tyson loyalists, the die-hard fans who grew up seeing Iron Mike demolish opponents in the ring. They weren't going to allow Jake Paul get away with such a claim. Some even went as far as asking that Paul publicly apologize. But here's the kicker, Jake did backtrack. He rushed on social media to explain his comments, stating he misspoke and that he wasn't attempting to mislead anybody. He pointed out that Tyson did take toad venom, but it doesn't prove he had Parkinson's. But by then, the harm was already done, and the internet had already made up its opinion. Mike Tyson, a living legend who refuses to be defined by age. Now, let's move the attention back to the man himself, Mike Tyson. There's no doubting that age is a role in boxing. It's a young man's sport, a game of reflexes, endurance, and explosive force. But if there's one thing Tyson has shown time and time again, it's that he is constructed different. Even at 58, getting into the ring against a much younger competitor, he didn't back down. And yeah, Jake Paul may have gone away with the win, but let's not forget what truly transpired that night. Tyson went the distance. He didn't get knocked out, he didn't quit, and he didn't appear entirely out of place in the ring. That alone says volumes. The fact that Tyson is still training, still putting in the effort, and still remaining ready, that's legendary, and his perspective is what differentiates him from the others. I don't look at age as my future, Tyson stated in an interview. I don't look at age and say, I'm too old to do this. I look at that and think, I can still do this. And that right there is why Mike Tyson will always be a force to be reckoned with. The boxing world reacts. Is Jake Paul good or just lucky? Now, let's speak about the elephant in the room, Jake Paul's boxing career. Like him or not, the man is making waves. But after the Tyson fight, many began asking a challenging question: is Jake Paul genuinely a talented boxer? Or is he simply fighting the right people at the right time? Let's look at his track record. He's battled YouTubers, former MMA fighters, and elderly boxers. Tyson was by far the greatest star he's ever gone into the ring with, but the age disparity was evident. And even though Paul won by decision, it wasn't exactly a dominating effort. So now, boxing fans are asking that Paul take on true competition, fighters who are in their prime, fighters who are active professionals, fighters who will actually test him. Names like Tommy Fury, Nate Diaz, in a rematch, and even KSI have been bandied about. But if Jake Paul truly wants to prove himself, maybe it's time he faces a true ranking fighter. What's next for Tyson? One more fight or time to hang it up? As for Tyson, the big question remains, is this the end? Or does he have one more fight left in him? His family, his trainers, and even his closest friends have raised worries. They observe the suffering he goes through in training. They witness how his body responds after a battle, and they question whether it's really worth it. Tyson himself has confessed that every time he gets into the ring, it takes a toll. But at the same time, boxing is Tyson. It's what he knows. It's what he loves. In an interview following the bout, he left the door open, stating, "I don't know what's next, but I'm always going to be training. We'll see what happens." Could we witness a rematch? Could he take on another icon, like Evander Holyfield or Roy Jones Jr., again? Or is this actually the concluding chapter of one of boxing's greatest stories? Only time will tell. Final thoughts, a story that's bigger than boxing. At the end of the day, this battle wasn't just about boxing, it was about legacy, respect, and demonstrating something to the world. For Jake Paul, it was about consolidating his position in the sport, demonstrating that he's more than just a YouTuber with a pair of gloves. For Mike Tyson, it was about defying expectations, demonstrating that no matter how old you are, you can still seek greatness. And for the fans, it was a time to watch history, two generations colliding in a confrontation that no one ever imagined to happen. So, whether you adore Jake Paul or despise him, whether you believe Tyson should fight again or hang it up for good, one thing's for sure, this was a moment that will go down in boxing history. And who knows, this may not be the last time we witness a bizarre brawl like this. Boxing is unexpected, and that's what makes it so darn entertaining. And with that, we conclude up this amazing trip of a narrative. Stay tuned, because in the world of boxing, the next huge shock is always just around the corner.